Hey everybody, what is up? This is Anthony with VR Game Rankings, and this is obviously a very different look than the normal room that I'm in. I am outside. This is Sacramento, California. It's a beautiful day today, but oh my goodness, incredibly hot. 86 degrees, maybe 87 degrees today here in Sacramento, and it's like April 23rd, I think. April 23rd? 86 degrees. Now, 86 degrees on April 23rd, that is freaking hot. And you know what it is really is, it's the change. It's like we've had a certain temperature for so long, and then all of a sudden, bam, 86, 87 degrees. It's a really big change, and it basically takes about a week probably for the average person to adjust to this new weather. And why am I talking about this on a VR gaming show? Well, this is actually topic number one, which is the heat is back, guys. Summer is here. It depends on where you live, of course, but like for me, I had to bring out both of my fans today. I was playing some In Death, started to get crazy hot, and I had to go into storage, into my little storage thing, and pull out my fans. And basically what I do is I put one fan on one side of my play space, I put the other fan on the other side of the play space, and then that way I have circulating air from both sides. Helps out a tremendous amount. But one thing I can say is, like, when it's like 110 degrees in Sacramento, and sometimes it actually can be 110 degrees, 112, 113. I mean, it gets crazy hot in Sacramento. And when it gets that hot, it doesn't matter. Fans or no fans, air conditioning or no air conditioning. Well, part of the problem is that room that I'm in, the red room there, I only have one air conditioning vent, and it's not enough for that size room. That room really is a garage. That is a 3-car garage that has been converted into basically a media room. And it didn't have any air conditioning at all, but what I did was I routed one air conditioning duct to that room, and it helps, but nowhere near enough. It's not enough. And so, you know, I use the fans and stuff like that, but yeah, I mean, sometimes in the summer it is not possible. You cannot play VR. I mean, there's certain days it's just so damn hot, no VR today, and that kind of sucks. And I'm wondering, what are you guys with VR arcades, those of you that have VR arcades, if you're in a hot climate, man, you must just have to have your air conditioner on crazy pump status, because, you know, it gets hot and sweaty, and you never know who's going to be using your equipment, and if they start sweating their butt off, they could damage your Vive. I mean, how many times have we seen HTC Vives damaged from sweat? In fact, I just saw on the Vive subreddit somebody that just got a HTC Vive Pro, and his Vive Pro is already dead. Already dead. I mean, the thing just came out and it's dead from water damage. HTC, you guys need to step it up as far as this whole water damage thing. You need to figure the water damage situation out. Okay, so let's get to topic number two. I mean, well, topic number one is basically like with the heat. I mean, what do you guys think about this heat? Do you have a plan? Do you even have to deal with the heat? Are you in a wonderful climate? You don't have to deal with this heat. Do you have a lot of air conditioners blasting? You know, what do you do? So that's my question about the heat. And then topic number two is I wanted to talk about Compound. And so Compound is a game, we've known about this game for a while now. This is developer Bevan McKechnie, I believe is the name. It's a single guy that is basically working on Compound, and he has a regular normal job. This is not his full-time gig, and that's why it's taking so long for Compound to be finished. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because we have heard some news on the Steam page for Compound. He did update some information saying, hey, I'm still here, I'm still working on the game is coming, and the really good news is the game is going to enter early access within probably the next 60 to 90 days, I would have to assume. He said soon, you know, we really don't know what that means, But my hope is within the next 60 to 90 days, that game will hit early access. And the other good news is there is going to be a new demo, and the demo is going to be an updated demo kind of showing off more of what is in the game right now. He has released these 3 GIFs that are probably playing somewhere on this wall here. That's kind of why I chose this background. He did release 3 GIFs, and what's coming to this game, you've got a double-barreled shotgun, you've got this like rail gun, and then there are 2 new maps. So you have the regular map that we're used to already. We've got 2 brand new maps, so completely different looks, which I think that's what the game really needed, is it needed additional maps, additional music, and 3 new enemy types, which is another big thing that the game needed. This is a roguelike, kind of like In Death, but it's a classic retro style game. It's kind of like Doom or Castle Wolfenstein, but adapted for VR. And one of the nice things about this is, like, I've played the original Doom in VR. I used a mod, I think it's GZ3 Doom, to play the original Doom in VR, and it works. But the problem with it is it wasn't designed for that. So while it does work, while you can play it, what I've found is 20 minutes or so later, after you're done playing it, you got a splitting headache because it just wasn't designed for that. And that's where a game like Compound makes a tremendous difference, because this game was designed from VR from the very beginning. We're talking crystal clear graphics, incredibly colorful. We're talking about a beautiful pixelated look to the game. I was a retro gamer before I got into VR gaming. I wasn't playing modern games, I was playing retro games, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, you know, stuff like that. And playing Compound, the first thing that pops into my mind when I'm playing Compound is this is kind of like a 32X game in VR. I mean, how freaking cool is that? It's like a Sega 32X game that's in VR, and it's really quite enjoyable. And, you know, people rant and rave about this Compound demo that's been available forever. I know people that have played this demo like a year ago, and they're still playing it today. They still pop into that demo every once in a while, and when they have a good buddy come over and try their VR setup, they throw them in Compound, and it's a great experience. It's a wonderful experience. I mean, there's certain people out there that the retro style is not what they're looking for, and they might take one look at Compound and be like, I have no interest in this whatsoever. And, you know, that's understandable. It's certainly understandable, but I think you kind of are missing the boat here, because one of the beautiful things about Compound is that it just flows so smoothly. You know, it's so butter smooth. That is one of the beautiful things about it, and I think that pixel style, that retro style graphics, helps it flow incredibly smoothly. I think that's a really big part of it. And so, you know, the fact that this is coming to early access, it is a really good thing. It's a wonderful thing. And so we're definitely looking forward to that. Okay, so let's move on to topic number 3. And topic number 3 is that recently we got a brand new Oculus exclusive that we've been waiting. You know, we've been waiting so long to hear about these Oculus exclusives. And we find out about Defector, and this, of course, is Twisted Pixel. This is the developer of Wilson's Heart. Twisted Pixel is a talented developer. Wilson's Heart was a very good game, somewhat underrated probably. And one of the big problems with Wilson's Heart really was, I think back when it was developed, Oculus really wasn't thinking room scale way back then. Most people just had the 2 sensors, and Wilson's Heart was designed with it was designed with touch in mind, of course, but it was probably designed with the idea that you might only have 2 sensors and you're using touch. And so there wasn't much of a room scale aspect to it. And I think Twisted Pixel kind of had their hands tied behind their back when they were making Wilson's Heart, and they've now been let out of jail. Most people that are playing Oculus Rift now, most people have 3 sensors. Some even have 4. Some crazy people like me have 4 of them. And I think Twisted Pixel is aware of that. I think Oculus is aware of that. And so hopefully Defector, I was about to say Disruptor, hopefully Defector, it looks like it's go anywhere kind of locomotion. It looks like you have a lot of hand presence and a lot of access with your hands, which that's very good. There's also this dialogue system. You know, you're actually talking to other characters in the game, and you have to kind of use maybe some James Bond-like persuasion, and there's kind of this dialogue system that you're using, kind of a little bit LA Noire or kind of Fallout or Skyrim, kind of a dialogue system there. And it's a spy game, you know, it's kind of like Mission Impossible meets VR, or kind of like a James Bond meets VR kind of a thing. And you know what, I think the game looks good, but I don't know that this is the exclusive that we desperately need. Apologies for that loud airplane noise that's in the background, but if I stop this recording, there's just going to be another airplane, so it's kind of like you got to deal with it. Actually, you know what, I'll pause for a second and kind of let it pass by and continue on in just a second here. Okay, so the airplane is a little bit farther away, and what I was saying about Disruptor is we've obviously been waiting for these Oculus Rift exclusives, and we've kind of been wondering, you know, where are these Oculus Rift exclusives? We've been waiting around, and we finally find out about this one, Defector, and we're very excited and interested in it, but I don't know that it is the Lone Echo, or, you know, the Robo Recall, or even like the Mage's Tale or Killing Floor Incursion. Honestly, if I'm being completely and utterly honest with you guys, in fact, I was probably more hyped for Wilson's Heart than I am this game Defector, and you know, not super hyped on this game, but you know, it is a game that we're looking forward to. It's a game that we're interested in, and it's good to see an exclusive coming. And the real question, of course, is what is the deal with Marvel Powers United VR? Whatever happened to Marvel Powers United VR? I mean, it's April 23rd, I think, and we still don't have a release date for Marvel Powers United VR. I thought this game would already be available. I thought Marvel Powers United VR would be coming out in March or something like that. I thought we'd already be playing this game. Of course, Sanzaru Games is the developer, and they are using the Robo Recall engine. And I can remember back to last December, the game looked like it was pretty far along, and I thought we were talking about a first quarter release, but we still don't have a date. We don't have any idea when Marvel Powers United VR is actually going to reach us. But at least we do know about this Defector. It looks like it's a fall 2018 game. We didn't really get a date for it. I think if it was coming like summer, we probably would have gotten some kind of, you know, maybe it would have said summer 2018. We only saw 2018, so my guess, we're probably looking at October for Defector. And if I had to guess for a price point, I would say $39.99, and it's kind of in that same class as stuff like Brass Tactics, Killing Floor Incursion, The Mage's Tale, Robo Recall, Lone Echo. You know, it's kind of in the same class as all of those games, but I honestly think I was maybe looking forward to all of those a little bit more than this. Some people are comparing it to Blood and Truth, which is coming to PlayStation VR. I'm more excited for that one, to be totally honest with you. But, you know, Twisted Pixel, again, these guys are let out of jail, I believe, with this game, so probably should give them the benefit of the doubt and see what they're going to bring to the table. But anyway, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video. A different kind of a background, different kind of a look. Not sure if you guys might like this, or maybe you don't like this. I thought I want to try some different stuff, you know, experiment with some different stuff. Sometimes I might do some of these where I'm actually just walking along, and so it'll just be a moving background. I thought maybe trying to do this with just a solid background here might be a good idea, and then I could pop a video window somewhere behind me maybe, but I don't know how this is framed. I might not be doing it right, so we'll have to see how it all plays out. But basically, in the comments, let me know, is this something you'd be interested in? Because I could probably bang these out on maybe a bit of a more frequent basis. But that's going to go ahead and do it. So we'll see everybody next time. Take it easy. Later.